Let's break it down. Oh, wow, look at this build. Central Scrutinizer, certainly bringing some fun stuff. So High Elves are going to go for a rush. We have an Archmage of Life, double Horse Noble. So the Archmage has Earthblood and Shield of Thorns. Rangers, White Lions, and that's it, basically, with triple Dragon Prince and Reaver. Dude, what kind of a build is this? This is some wild shit. So this is a High Elf rush. I was expecting Bolt Throwers. I was expecting like kind of a more cagey style of play. But it is actually going to be just a full-on High Elf blitz. Imric does... Well, you know, we never see Tyrion's hair, though, because he's got a helmet. I bet you Tyrion has some pretty sweet hair for sure. Now, look at this build from the Central Scrutinizer. We have a Huntsman General who's looking extra glorious. Dude, I love the Empire aesthetic, dude. They're so cool looking. And it's going to be Mass Huntsman or these basic archers? Yeah, Huntsman, decent utility here, not like amazing. They will do okay against some of the cav, but there's a lot of armor. So State Troopers, Spearmen, Sigmar Sons, you know, just the usual chaff probably. Yeah, it's just Swordsmen actually. A single Hammer of the Witches, which is hands down going to be the most valuable asset. Shadowcaster with Pendulum, Enfeebling Foe. Empire Knights into the Sunset, Silver Bullets, and Huntsman General. Okay. The one thing this build might struggle with is dealing with all the armor, like the White Lions and the Dragon Princes. The Hammer of the Witches is here for it. Huntsman General can do some work. Pendulums will also be very nice, but really, that is a lot of armor, man. A very aggressive High Elf build. That one is going to be going deep. And looking to just rush it up. Yeah, Dactyr is a Wood Elf main, so he's probably playing the High Elves like you would play Wood Elves in this matchup. Wood Elves can rush Empire very well, too, like Dryads, Eternal Guard. No, probably not Eternal Guard for that. Probably just Dryads mostly. And then bringing Wild Riders. You can even go with the Stag Knights, too. They have a ton of AP, and they can really wreck some of the Empire heavy cav and whatnot, so... Should be fun. Should be fun indeed. So once again, thank you guys all for joining. It's time to party. And let us know in chat. Who do you guys want to win? Rooting for the Empire? Rooting for the Sons of Sigmar? Or are you looking to see a High Elf victory? A rare sighting indeed. So this is the this is actually the paint scheme I have for my tabletop army. The red and white. Pretty easy one to do. These guys certainly look better than my paint job. So, all right. So what's it going to be? Volkmar would be super good here. But the only issue with Volkmar is that Dactyr came relatively prepared. Dactyr did bring the double noble, so there's going to be two nobles here, right? And those two nobles will be able to get those big old shanks for sure. Hammer of the Witches, going straight up Rob Zombie in this battle. Going to be hammering in, and immediately 4 Dragon Princes are taken down. Pretty rough losses, but not the end of the world. I would imagine the Hammer of the Witches will probably start shooting into some of the nobles here. Look at the Huntsman General. Ooh, I like this. Huntsman General popping out with his anti-large, going after the Archmage of Life. Not a bad idea. Just sit on the Archmage of Life the whole game and see if Dactyr is going to be juking. Nice shot right there. Archmage does get hit. And more Dragon Princes do fall to the Hammer of the Witches, which does have 450 range and also does do magic damage. So it can surpass the physical resist of the Dragon Princes. Certainly quite helpful. Does not do fire damage, so not going to be worrying too much about that. But the High Elves will buckle the State Troop front line. I mean, the Empire Knights will help a lot. Empire Knights will do pretty good damage against Rangers. Rangers have light armor, and even though Empire Knights aren't like amazing shot cav, they still have a charge bonus of almost 50. So the Huntsman shooting in the back, State Troopers getting ready as the Knights of Sigmar do lance through. It looks like there's going to be a little Earthblood going down. I don't know what he did with that charge. It looks like a little bit of a lapse there in his micro. Here he does get a good charge though, so the big Empire cav able to really hammer into the Rangers, and that's very cost effective. Swordsmen versus Rangers, Rangers will win, but if they're a little bit softened up, the Swordsmen might have a decent chance of winning. On the other side, the Empire Knights do get caught up by the Dragon Princes and are going to be serving as a glorified roadblock. Pendulum coming down as well. Ooh, nice Pendulum. Does some work against the Rangers. Would have liked to have seen one over here on the Dragon Princes. I think that's really where you need to be using that. On the far side, Reavers are pushed back by the Empire Knights. And where are the Silver Bullets? That really is the important question. Silver Bullets are up on the hill on the far side. They need to be shooting at Dragon Princes and other high-value targets. But the Rangers were able to kind of slip past some of the defenders on the flanks, and now are going to be kind of permeating here into the back line as the Huntsmen are going to get pursued pretty heavily. Dactyr coming in very aggressive here with this this High Elf rush build, which I think is quite cool for sure. Overall, very even trading. Empire may have gotten some early value, but I think that's going to start changing quite a bit as the Empire backline is being pushed very bad. And also, yeah, look at this beautiful Dragon Prince play. The Dragon Princes do get into the back line, and these Huntsmen are in massive danger. They're getting in there with their swords, fighting against some of the most elite cavalry that the old world has to offer. The entire Empire front line buckling. These guys, 69 models. These Sigmarites know how to live, but the rest of them, 61 and wavering on death's bed, and these guys holding okay with a little bit of support. Another Pendulum coming down does hit the Princes Only really tickles the pickle, though. It looks like Dactyr was able to mostly dodge that by moving forward. And the Hammer of the Witches is heavily obstructed. Huntsman General not really doing anything. Just kind of sitting back here and, yeah, trying his best. The Bounce Power still says the battle's even, but for me, I just feel like the High Elves are in a very, very good position here. I don't know what this Huntsman General is doing. Okay, it looks like he's trying to snipe the Archmage of Life, which is a good call, but Huntsmen are just running in all directions. Taking a look at the High Elf Infantry Corps, they still have White Lions. White Lions have always been very good against Empire. They can fight the Cav and the Infantry, which makes them a very, very valuable asset. Now, Dragon Prince is coming back here. Lance is couched for Wolf One, and they are able to run down the cannon crew. So the Empire cannon teams are going to be in massive danger as they are getting lanced and absolutely hammered. The Sigmarite Cav standing by, being intercepted by another unit of Princes. So I think the entire Empire position here is going to be compromised. Nobles are going to kill the Huntsman General, like 1,000%. And that probably will be, in the words of Chappelle, game blouses here. Archmage of Life, fleeing the scene. Enfeebling foes active, -24, -24. But relatively safe. Not going to be in danger. And the Empire is in shambles. We have some Empire Knights here fighting. We do have Silver Bullets on the far side. Okay, maybe there could be some sort of a hope with Silver Bullets still being active. You're able to get some gooning, but another unit of Empire Knights, a healthy one, mind you, being pursued very, very heavily here by the Dragon Princes. Yeah, Franz would have been better, but it's easy to say that. Like, once you see the builds, right? It's like, oh, of course, like, yeah, he'd be better, but you never know what your opponent's going to bring, right? Like, Franz can be a liability if Tempest is on the field, so Eltharion and all that sort of stuff like that. Silver Bullets, heavily obstructed by line of sight. You have to be careful on maps like this. You can see if you like really go down to the level of the rifles here, they can't really get good line of sight. They're able to pick off a couple units, but if these Silver Bullets were like up on this hill, they'd have exponentially better line of sight. So the Empire is going to try and get its bearings and stabilize on the Silver Bullets, and the Grey Wizard is going to take over the command of the army here. Some of the White Lions are going to be fleeing the scene. Double Nobles on the other side, able to take out the Lord. So the Huntsman General is he's down and certainly out. Yeah, he's not going to be coming back anytime soon, as he does get the ceremonial execution there from the Double Nobles. Looking around, a couple Narnia infantry. The White Lions of Krace going to be scurrying away from the missiles. Basically, Dactyr is going to be waiting for these forces to posture up here and get the rest of his army engaged. Archmage of Life is still alive too. Despite some of the sniping attempts, the Archmage of Life has survived, and Dactyr has a very solid stranglehold on this game, and showing that the High Elves can win games. Granted, the Empire is considered to be a bit of a lower tier faction, so it's not necessarily like them beating the Greenskins or one of these Warhammer 2 powerhouse factions, but it still is a very, very nice victory and a very fun game. Empire vs. High Elves has always been a fun matchup. Very even, I think, depending on how the armies are built. Dragon Princes basically going to be killing the last vestiges here of the Empire, although they turn around and a couple of them do get Last Samurai for no reason. I'm not sure why he didn't go in there for the kill. I think if he had just charged, it would have just triggered army losses, basically, if the Silver Bullets had gotten shut down. Empire Knights road blocking into the White Lines of Krace here. Very scrappy battle. This has been a good duel between these two mighty players. But in the end, Dactyr is going to be winning and advancing to the Grand Finals 2-0 to face the victors on the bottom side of the bracket. GG, well played. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a good game indeed. No sequel for that guy. That's true. Yeah, he's got no plot armor. He's not a named character, so he's not going to get, he's not going to get the glory there. Hey, look at that. High Elves won a game. Can you believe it? With the High Elf Rush build against the Sons of Sigmar. The Empire was more like prepared to play like a wider playstyle, and I don't think they were prepared for like an armor rush, because this was very much an armor rush. A lot of armor. So Dactyr is going to be claiming that series 2-0. Congratulations to him. He is going to be heading on to the Grand Finals.